This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening and welcome to Saturday's news. The 46th Pacific Islands Leaders Meeting is expected to be different from its previous meetings. Secretary General of the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat said critical issues that will be discussed are people-driven. These issues were reached at the end of a long process of gathering key concerns from people around the Pacific.
These issues are climate issues, ICT, cervical cancer, West Papua, and fisheries.
These issues are not driven by officials. These issues came from people.
The Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat collected 68 submissions that they ran through a series of tests.
Regionalism, sovereignty, market test, inclusivity, duplication.
At the end of this process, these 5 main issues have now been put forward for the leaders to discuss. Some of these issues have huge economical and political implications.
There are two aspects. One is about a deeper regionalism of having real discussions around issues that affect us. Secondly, it's about owning the politics of the region. Taking decisions about issues that affect the region and the leaders owning it. And finally, I'd say, in doing that, you change the development paradigm that we set, or our leaders set the agenda for what is important for our region, and discuss that with partners and donors.
This process of including the people's concerns comes under the Pacific Development Guide Framework for Pacific Regionalism that the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat was given the mandate to implement. Meg says the challenge now is to make it work. In terms of thinking of the common good versus the sovereignty and self-interest of individual island states, Meg says it will require strong leadership.
Well, regionalism requires all of us to give away a little. That requires foresight, it requires leadership, and it requires, I think, a deep understanding of the common good and what does it mean for the Pacific.
Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
National Housing Estate Limited has partnered with Berkeley Capital to bring about a new joint venture housing project in Port Moresby called the Gobuta Street Estate. The project is worth 35 million kina and is expected to be completed by April 2016. NHEL Executive Chairman Kevin Ahipum said the property will be managed and maintained by a corporate body.
The new joint venture housing project, Gobuta Street Estate, was officially opened yesterday. Located at Tokarara in the nation's capital, work on the 3.2 hectares project began in April this year. Project contractor and manager Berkeley Capital is confident that Gobuta Street Estate will be completed and delivered on time. Civil works have been completed, including the perimeter fencing, guardhouse, and other site preparations. The opening yesterday also marked the beginning of the construction of the 48 houses.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to stand here before you to mark the first ending of the first phase of this project. The Gobuta Estate project is at a value of 35 million.
Mr. Ahipum said the 48 houses will be built to Australian standards with quality materials. Once complete, the houses will be up for sale with prices ranging between 500,000 and 600,000 kina as land house package. Berkeley Capital is a leading land subdivider and house builder in several countries throughout the world, and they are bringing their wealth of experience to PNG to deliver an Australian standard land estate in partnership with the NHEL, a state-owned enterprise.
Say that the National Housing Estate Group, as a company, and the individuals that are involved in the company have been second to none in assisting us to get this project over the line. So I thank you very much for that.
Mr. Ahipum said about 85% of the houses have already been pre-sold to PNG owners. He encouraged interested home buyers to pursue existing BSP first-time home buyer facilities. The other key projects for the NHEL are the 800 million kina Gabutu Palace project to be developed with Korean consortiums and the 3 million Ombudsman housing at Gerehu Stage 3B2 to be completed by the end of the year. Delhi Waigeno, National EMTV News.
Finance Minister James Marape said PNG has not delivered on expectations because of weaknesses in the government systems concerning revenue and public expenditure. He was speaking at the launch of the Provincial Expenditure Framework this week. Fabian Hakalitz has more.
Papua New Guinea has failed to deliver on the expectations because of the many weaknesses in the system, revenue and public expenditure. This is because there has been no proper percentage of budget delivery.
The depressed economic numbers in as far as revenue is concerned gives us an opportune time. If we can fix the systems we have internally, we can save as well as improve on delivery to our people. There's a lot of weakness, leakages happening in our system today.
As custodians, Marape challenged the Finance Department to ensure system is deliverable.
You as key officials in the system, and it starts with us at the central agencies, especially finance, as the chief custodian of Section 32 powers. It starts with you to know where the weaknesses are, where the linkages are taking place, in as far as public fund expenditure is concerned.
Finance Secretary Dr. Ken Nangan said all agency partners will comply under this framework that aims to strengthen fiscal discipline with strategic resource allocation.
We roll out this roadmap and roll out the implementation of the identified platform. We will begin to address those issues. So that a significant amount of money, it's even becoming critical because a larger chunk of the development funds are now going to the sub-national levels of government, provinces and districts.
This framework ensures all provincial governments perform to capture accurate financial reports required under finance and monetary laws. Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have more when we return. Welcome back to the news. Member for Kairukuhiri, Peter Isoaimo, was in his district in the Central Province yesterday. He was at Inuaya at the invitation of a primary school to mark the school's Golden Jubilee celebrations. Mr. Isoaimo presented a funding of 50,000 kina to the school at the end of the ceremonies.
The local MP, Mr. Isoaimo, arrived at Inawaya village in the Kairukuhiri district to a rousing welcome in the midst of the community's celebrations. It was the 50th anniversary of the Mary Immaculate Primary School. Head teacher Amelia Echo said it was an ideal time to call on former students to remember and support the school.
A day to remember because this is a time to get all ex-students of this school to be reunited.
The school's board chairman, Mariano Keama, said when the school began in 1965, Standard 5 was the highest level of education for the students that numbered just over 10. He said the quality of education was such that most of the students, if not all at that time, became professionals. Mr. Keama said that presently, given the statistics, 700 students in the area should be in schools. However, only about 500 students are enrolled, and he called for improvements.
For the next 50 years, we should try to help our facilities here rehabilitate or construct new ones so that we can give the best to our future generation.
Mr. Isoaimo had words of advice for the students.
And for you students, especially the senior ones, you're gearing up yourselves to move into secondary schools and to higher tertiary institutions. It is very, very important that you take your studies seriously. Leaders can come and go. Your profession of whatever field and trade you will choose is your lifeline.
He then presented funding for the school, which included 10,000 kina for the elementary school.
I am proud to announce that I have a check here for 50,000 kina for Mary Immaculate Primary School in Awaya.
Delhi Waigeno, National EMTV News.
Over 3,000 friends and family attended Lay's ECPIC Provincial Day celebrations today at the Sir Ignatius Kilages Stadium. The day in the Morebian capital city was themed Empowering Society with the ECPIC Inherent Heritage Through Unity. Provincial days are now being held in Lay and Port Moresby to remind the young Papua New Guineans of their culture. The day was marked with cultural performances from the University of Technology, the National Polytechnic Institute of PNG and Lay Secondary School students. Bride prize ceremony demonstrations and initiation demonstrations were also held. Members of the community from other provinces also attended the day and commended organizers for a peaceful day. The organizing committee received funding from the ECPIC provincial government unit to unite those living and working in Lay City. The cost of coffee production in Papua New Guinea is higher than the income received. Agriculture Minister Tommy Tomskol attributed this to farmers' need for upskilling. A framework is being developed by the national government through the Coffee Industry Corporation for this purpose.
The Agriculture Minister challenged coffee farmers last night during the 2015 PNG National Coffee Cupping Competition official closing in Port Moresby, under the theme Promoting Excellence and Market Opportunities for Coffee Growers and Farming Communities. Mr. Tomskol says the national government in its policy framework is adding value to producers, but required from farmers is quality provided to consumers in the international market.
Because coffee is about measuring quality, and only in cupping you measure qualities. Coffee, in fact, has found a place in Korea. If you walk into Korea, you can drink PNG coffee from a cup, or you can drink Mariwaga coffee from a can.
18 provinces in PNG are growing coffee, building domestic market. However, for future survival, farmers need to replant and consider the environment.
On average, brings between 500 and 700 million kina annually in revenue to this country. Agriculture sector contributes 2 billion plus almost 3 billion into the budget of Papua New Guinea.
Meanwhile, the cupping competition champions Green Gold were Avena Coffee Cooperative of Kainantu in Eastern Highlands Province. Avena walked away with a Toyota Land Cruiser. Cuppers were assessed in 5 different category cups: clean, culture bland, flavored, aroma, consistent, and green gold. Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
Turning overseas now, and hundreds of migrants from Syria and Iraq, desperate to reach Western Europe, are in limbo, stuck at a train station in Budapest. Germany says it will take in hundreds of thousands, but their journey is still a long way to go.
Each person here has a story of misery. Most refugees from the wars ravaging Syria and Iraq left it to languish in the heart of Europe. This is Budapest train station turned refugee way station. Some try to wash off the filth and grime as best they can to restore a bit of their dignity after a journey to get here that has stripped them of it. They exist in limbo, waiting away the hours, hoping that their road ahead to Western Europe will open. This 19-year-old asks that we not disclose her identity. She doesn't want her parents to see her like this. She has a nursing degree, 2 small children, but Iraq is not a country that she can call home anymore. Her husband Samer worked at the family's hair salon, but tragedy struck way too often.
What made them decide that they couldn't go back to Iraq was another attack on the hair salon, and his uncle, who taught him everything he knew, was killed, and his younger brother was wounded.
They tried to board a train here, bought the tickets, but then were told no, not without a visa. Cars with drivers willing to bend the rules that can get them through, price at 500 euros plus per person. The scant options in desperation leave them vulnerable to criminal gangs, and all have heard of the fate of the 71 who perished in the cooler truck on the highway to Vienna. Heba also doesn't want to appear on camera, wiping away her tears as she tells us of her 4- and 6-year-old in Damascus. She, 27, and with a law degree, is making the journey in hopes her family can join her without having to go through this. People are saying the Syrians smell. The way we're being treated without a place to shower turned us into this, she says. At the camp near the border, she says treatment was inhumane. They throw the water at us, and you have to scramble for it like an animal. She escaped under the barbed wire, but went back, unable to keep going alone. Even in Budapest, she says, the response whenever she wants to buy something is this.
From Syria? No, go.
Germany, however, says it will take hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers. So no one here can comprehend why Hungary won't let them go.
You're watching National EMTV News. Trukai Sports is next. We will have a message for our NRL fans. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. EMTV apologizes for the disruption to your free-to-air live NRL action today. As per instructions from the NRL rights holder, there will be a 12-hour delayed telecast of the third NRL match this Saturday and all three NRL matches this Sunday. EMTV sincerely apologizes for any inconvenience caused, as this unfortunate circumstance is beyond our control. We appreciate your patience and understanding. All matches from Monday, the 7th of September, will resume free-to-air as scheduled until the end of the 2015 NRL season. Moving on to football, Samoa are the 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia qualifiers, OFC Stage 1 winners. Samoa beat Tonga 3-0 amid a dramatic conclusion to the four-stage tournament in Nuku'alofa, Tonga. Samoa will now feature at next year's OFC Nations Cup, which doubles as Stage 2 FIFA World Cup Russia qualifier, where they will feature in a group alongside Oceania champions Tahiti, New Caledonia and Papua New Guinea.
The early match saw Tonga, with little but pride to play for, open brightly, and they seemed set to take the lead in just the second minute when Sione Uhatahi struck the post from an acute angle, having rounded the goalkeeper. It was to prove a costly miss as Samoa took the lead on 9 minutes. Tonga was showing plenty of willingness to earn possession and attack, but their combination in the attacking third was invariably lacking. Suddenly, Samoa doubled the lead as a crossfield pass found John Hall at the back post. The match continued to stretch out in the second half. Samoa started to lose momentum in the latter stages, just as they did against the Cook Islands on Wednesday. However, it was they who netted the final goal of the contest. Unsurprisingly, the second match was a tough and at times confrontational encounter, given how much was on the line. Opportunities to break the deadlock were limited, and the first tangible sight on goal didn't arrive until the 20-minute mark. American Samoa's skillful midfield were now coming to the fore, but they desperately needed a goal. They finally got it in spectacular fashion as Mitchell fired home the sweetest of long-range dead ball strikes just before the hour mark. At the other end, the Cook Islands were not playing at the same level as in their previous two matches. Manawa would double American Samoa's lead in similar fashion to their first. That would leave American Samoa a goal away from taking the qualification spot. And while Sagabi hit the crossbar late on, the best chance saw substitute Demetrius Beauchamp find the target after dribbling all the way to goal during extra time. Jeremy Moggy, National, EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. We'll have further weather details for the next 24 hours after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region, all major centers expecting fine weather. In the Momase region, fine weather expected in Madang, Wibak and Vanimo, mostly fine in Leh, and brief showers expected in Wau. In the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine for Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul, fine and windy for Kimbe, a shower or two for Buka, and fine and windy for Lorengau. And in the Highlands region, all centres to expect fine weather with morning fog. And before we go, EMTV apologizes for the disruption to your free-to-air live NRL action today. As per instructions from the NRL rights holder, there will be a 12-hour delayed telecast of the third NRL match this Saturday and all 3 NRL matches this Sunday. EMTV sincerely apologizes for any inconvenience caused, as this unfortunate circumstance is beyond our control. We appreciate your patience and understanding. All matches from Monday the 7th of September will resume free-to-air as scheduled until the end of the 2015 NRL season. And that has been the news for today, Saturday the 5th of September 2015. On behalf of the EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.